Check, check. Hopefully this thing is on. Oh, look at that. We're on the wrong camera. All right. Well, we are back. We are back to battle this freaking thing yet again. And anybody who was here yesterday knows I was pretty upset to find out that, unfortunately, while the board is functional, it is no longer outputting a display to the monitor. And I don't know why. I did go back and verify by looking at older videos that in fact I was 100% getting an output to the monitor. I knew I was, but just had to go verify. And, as expected, there is very little information regarding this board. So I went to go try to find something I could maybe latch onto to get some help, and the best I could really find was just a guy saying who had a very similar, actually the exact same, well, I don't want to say the exact same issue, but he had the exact same symptoms, which were working board, producing audio, outputting video to external, but no display on the monitor, and the backlight's working with the brightness wheel not responding. So that's where we're at right now, which is basically when I plug the monitor in up here, I get the backlight on, but the brightness wheel down here does nothing and no display. Meanwhile, I can hear game audio, and the controls, as far as I could tell, got me through the menus at the very least. So the board's working, but unfortunately no display. Now, that guy said he determined his issue lied on the LCD portion of it, but I know for a fact that the LCD was working. So deep in that thread, or right in the beginning of the thread, actually more, another guy said that generally when he experienced those symptoms, there was an issue in this section right here, which is the power. This is the T500 transformer. Got a couple capacitors. There's a transistor in here. Probably a diode, I'm thinking. Is this guy right here. A couple of surface mount capacitors and resistors. I took a quick little look before we started stream. Nothing looked crazy bad. So on the other side of the board, which we're about to do right now, basically right here, we're going to attach a small wire, and I'm going to test to see if voltages are actually making it through to the display connector. We should be seeing around negative 20 volts on pin 8, I think it was. I'll look it up once we get it under the microscope and get going here. But yeah, it was very disappointing yesterday to get the thing pretty much put back together to realize that it still was not functional. So right now my goal is to try to see if I can figure out what component is either not functioning right, or what connection is now no longer there that used to be there. I have very, and I mean very little hope that we're going to solve this. There is just, at least today, there is just not enough out there for me to look at to get a better understanding of how the circuit works. So unfortunately, it's kind of going to be like up to me to basically just use my multimeter here and just basically trace things and see if I can determine what's gone. So the first thing that we're going to do is just get some wire prepared, and we're going to solder on this lead here so I could basically test for voltages without fear of shorting anything out, which is very possible to do. So we'll just we'll pull that out of contention here, and we'll just solder a quick little lead on. That way all of my testing can be done away from the very sensitive, rare, and impossible to replace board. That's kind of my goal today. We are just going to start probing. I'm probably going to end up refreshing some solder joints in the power area. Let's get some better focus going here. So we've got, I believe it is, yes. That's pin 10. So this, I'll look it up here in a second, but I think it's supposed to be this pin right here. It's supposed to be carrying my display voltage. So let's just go pull my email up real quick because I sent myself a quick photo. Was yeah, I don't know. I'm a little confused because in my mind, I mean, unless like there was some sort of shaky connection that was going on, then I broke because I cleaned. But I did do some very, very, very basic testing on the connector. Why is my email doesn't want to work? That's weird. There we go. All right, so this is telling me I was correct here. Second row, 12, 11, so it's pin 10. Pin 10. Okay, so pin 10 was right. So we're going to go ahead and just solder a quick little lead right here. And should be able to do that no problem. Just get you back on the board here. That's right there. Okay. Let's see here. And the other thing is we got to make sure that I don't short this out to other pins too. So we'll test for that. Nope. That's not working out. I might actually just use some thinner gauge wire. That's a lot less hairy, harder to test though. I might have to just keep doing what I'm doing, but yeah, see that's much better. The problem with this stuff though is it's so freaking thin, it's hard to kind of hard to get your probe on. We'll try our best here. Splooge on maybe just a bunch of solder to give it a little bit more purchase. Okay, so we don't need this up anymore. Concentrate back on chat, which is non-existent right now, but that's okay. Let me just go ahead and tin this wire. Alright. That's basically what I kind of did. Created a fat little blob right there at the end. Now I should be able to power the board and test without fear. shorting anything. Okay, now we're gonna need a couple things here. Get you back in line. Making sure. Grab my test leads. Okay. Things are kind of wrapped up on the desk right now. Okay. All right. So basically, that should be a ground point right there. Right here should be perfect for ground. Just make sure. Yeah. So once again, I'm just looking in this area. That's not connected. All right. That is, though. Passing through that resistor. But everything in this area, also, this is also another power delivery area. And that 5291, this thing right here is a DC to DC PWM converter. Just double checking everything in this area. Now, I did look, we kind of had a weird situation with this, but I resoldered it and got a better connection. Nothing's, well, it's still kind of wobbly. You know, I don't know if that has anything to do with it, though. It could, though. It very well could. Let's just check this fuse real fast. I don't know, doubt it has anything to do with anything, but yeah, we're fine. Okay. So I could end up grounding this manually, which I might end up just doing, just for the grins of it. You could kind of see that, yeah, see how it's moving a little bit? So whatever that was connected to is probably not making connection. So, oh, and I'm seeing some corrosion. Okay, so that's going, wow. Holy shit. Well, that's kind of disappointing. As you can see, those tracks right there are brown. Which doesn't always mean anything, but so basically, oh, that's for the external port though. So that shouldn't have anything to do with anything. I'd still have to repair it, but so that's saying that, pretty sure it's this point right here. I think is supposed to, yeah, we're fine. It's just some crappy looking solder mask. I might end up repairing that anyway. All right, well, let's go ahead and for now, we're going to test the voltage. And so we'll put in the volts DC mode. Red black probe on ground here. See, I'm getting millivolts. Negative 0.9. So we have an issue. If that's supposed to be my 20 volt rail, I'm not getting that. So I think maybe the first thing I'd do, real quick, is I'll take a look here at the power section. See about maybe trying to get some voltages. So this is pretty much the power section right here. You can see that some of those legs look a little wonky, but I didn't see anything in this section that really concerned me when I first looked at it. You know, you would expect maybe lots of corrosion or something. Let's just get a little bit of extra light going on there. You can see, I mean, these look a little wonky, but that's a ground plane. And I'm assuming that we're fine. Let's just do a quick couple of continuity tests. Now I could also go repair. Actually, maybe I'll do that first. Let's go maybe manually ground. So this should be connected to this via right here. It is. These are all grounds. This should be this via. That's connected. Connected. And I think this goes to that. No, it goes to here. Okay, so that is connected. That should be a ground, right? You would think, but it's not. I think this supplies a negative voltage. But that should be connected to this. It is. Okay. This isn't connected to anything ever. Alright. But then that's connected here. And then this is fine here. Okay. Now that resistor's looking a little, this is looking a little bad, but I think we're alright, you know, honestly. Yeah. That cap's getting in the way. So that's all connected. It's all looking good. Alright, that's a little disappointing. I'm assuming this coil's okay. I don't know. I'm gonna have to just look on the other side. This right here is the coil. Yeah, it's fine. Okay. So let's go ahead and just real quick, we're gonna patch up see, some of these look a little a little rough. I could probably come in with some fresh solder on them, but nothing looks crazy out of whack to me. See any shorted stuff? Oh, that looks fine. It's a little. But I checked voltages on the that right there, and it was fine. Imagine that's just some fluff. Yeah, it sure is. Looking good though. I mean, the only other thankful option I've got is I do have a working board, so I can potentially. Let's just do this real fast. Let me I really doubt this is going to change anything, but we're going to try. There it is. Flux. Oh, this is just a very disappointing outcome for this project because, like I said yesterday, it was supposed to just be a simple recap. And there's nothing worse when a simple job turns into a freaking nightmare. Okay. So let me go ahead and we'll just bodge this up real quick. Okay, that should be good for just a quick test. And then we're going to just go right up here. This is ground, so okay, so that means that I should have a connection now between what I just did and where we're at. Let's find out. Okay, we sure do. Now, when I turn this on, do I have my 20 volts? Or negative 20 volts, I guess. Nope. Still getting 0.9. Okay. So that obviously was not the problem, which once again was not really expecting that to be the problem. Now if I flip it over, okay, we're gonna start just probing around in this area, I guess, and see if maybe anything pops up, but so something stopped it from getting negative 20 volts, and I don't know what that could be. I guess I could just maybe try to thinking maybe I could try and refresh some of those joints on T500. Let's see what we get with some measurements though. So I'm curious. The problem is that we don't really have much of a usable ground plane over here. Let's try this. Let's see what we get. So that should be ground. Millivolts. Millivolts. Millivolts all on that side. Now it could be because maybe I'm not using the right proper ground, but let's see here. We got there 3.8 volts coming in. So we have 3.5 volts coming in, but there's 6 volts, which is coming from power. 3.85 volts there. Here we have millivolts. See, I'm wondering. I have 3.5 volts on that side. And millivolts going into that. It's curious. I wonder if maybe I got a bad cap? Wait. That was weird. Alright, so I've got 8 volts there. .6 volts there. Yeah. Millivolts. This makes me wonder. Is that a ground? I'm really curious. I don't know. I mean, that's a transistor, obviously, which could potentially be dead. But it's definitely not a ground that it's connected to. I'd have to pull apart my other one to figure that out. That very well could be it. I don't even know what that is. My guess is that reflowing stuff up here is not going to solve my problem. And I'm 99% sure that that capped right. But just for shits and giggles, let's go just refer to my cap map here. And that would be B, which is a 3.3, yeah. And then H, which is 47. Yeah, I mean, that's all right. Everything north facing. North facing, north facing. All my shit's north facing. Flinch ground side. So I have that done right. Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. I don't know why. I mean, I could just tap it, but like, thing is that if it was working before and it's not now, I just don't think, I don't think it has anything to do with a solder connection. I think a component died on me somehow. Could be wrong, but maybe I can get in there gently and just maybe refresh things a little bit. Let's go a little higher here. I mean, very well could be. Just a little bit of a refresh in the solder, but really doubt that's the problem. Alright, let's do a voltage, quick voltage DC change here, and then oh, it's the same thing. Just negative 9 volts. Alright, now I'm getting 1 volt on that. I don't think I was getting that before. So that's good. Millivolt there. We are getting the 1 volt now, though. That's interesting. I think that was all blank before, was it not? Then again, I could have had a bad connection with my probe, but I'm still not seeing negative 20 where I'm expecting it to. So let's just go ahead. Oh yeah, that's great. Thankfully, alcohol's mainly non-conductive. But I left the damn thing powered on while I was doing that. Ugh. Yeah, I mean it looks pretty fine to me. I just don't. Okay, so yeah, I mean. I guess we could just try a quick test here, but I mean, if I'm not seeing my display voltage, then I don't know what I'm expecting to happen. But you never know, I guess. I think I could have had it wrong. My only other option is to pull my other one apart, which I really was hoping to not have to do. Just mainly because when I get stuff working, I don't want to pull it apart again. It's one thing if it's some cheap toy, but these are not cheap. All right. And I think we discovered the other day it was yeah, so I'm just kind of getting these bales prepared to maybe, just maybe making my life a little easier here. Let's just do this to make my life slightly easier for now. Okay, maybe not. That's right, I think I had a much easier time doing it like this. Okay, now the backlight. I might have to rejiggle that bail a little bit. Now we're good. Okay. Just so the game's running, plug the speakers in, and we'll go grab our power lead real quick. Now, just for posterity's sake, I do not expect this to work, and it didn't. In fact, so it's the same thing. All right, well, that was expected. I really didn't think a quick little reflow of those parts were going to solve anything. Okay. All right, well, disappointing, but expected. Just don't even really know what to test for. I mean, I'm guessing that what's going to happen here is I'm just going to end up pulling apart my other one and seeing if I could figure out what's going on. But I guess get back under the microscope real quick. All right, so I mean, the component's looking a little burnt, but it's like nothing major really. Okay, let's see here. A little Q-tip wet. I'll just dip in here real quick and just kind of clean real fast. Now, let's see if maybe we can zoom in and promise I can't. BA. Okay, that's a pretty common transistor. Probably a PNP. Yeah, I'm just not. If I put it in a voltage drop mode, I think it should be gonna do. Let's see here. It's if I put the red. Open line. Now if I switch them. 0.6. So that seems to me 0.6. Open line. So that's fine. That's got to be fine. It's got to be fine. I don't know. So it's giving me voltage readings one way and not the other. So that to me generally says they're okay. Might not be the case, but as far as I can tell, and they're definitely not shorted to each other. Like this should be ground, I think. Yep. See, that's ground. So that should not be. It's not shorted to ground, and that's not shorted to ground. They're not connected. They're not connected, and that means that these aren't connected. So those are good. Okay. So now over here, got that. They're not connected. Not connected. Okay, so those two are connected, but that could just be ground? No, not ground. Otherwise it would show up there. Okay. Okay, so these two. Then again, I don't know if that's correct or not. It very well could be. Once again, I have to. An 8. 176. Pretty sure this is a diode. And we're going to double check these connections real fast. Last I knew they were okay. So this should be ground. Okay, that's fine. I actually don't know what this is connected to. Okay, so that's connected to that, which is fine. So that should be ground. Okay. This is the kind of sort of dodgy looking area, but as far as I can tell, we're looking okay. Yeah, so all my grounds are good. So that's a ground plane? Where now that does beg the question about, so I have to figure out now, how does that get its power? Where are you getting powered from? Okay, so unfortunately, because this is a non-connect on this side, I don't know exactly where it's supposed to be getting its juice from. So we're gonna have to figure that out, I think, in order to maybe suss this out. Do a little breath drying here just to get a, but just to show you, see, like there's no trace on this side. And then when I look over here on this side, now, let's see. So there is this one capacitor right in here. I mean, if it was a negative voltage, I would expect it to be coming outside of the ground side of a capacitor. See, there's all those. Is that just ground though? That feels just like it's ground, but I could be wrong. It's this connector that we care about. So what's this? This is not what I'm expecting, is it? Oh, it is. Okay, so this fuck me, really? Alright, so wait, what? There's no way. So it's not that. Let's take a look at where. Oh, wait. It's gotta be. Is it this? No. So that's connected there, not there. Now there are. What the heck was that I saw then? Because it's. Wait. Oh, I see. So it's this guy, right? You can see this tiny little jump right here, right? And these two are connected, and then it. F my life. I could see it now. All right, so that. I guess they go underneath to jump those tracks, and then out the other side. Is it here? Let's quick test here, real quick. Yeah. Okay, so we've got it traced. So yeah, it's pointing towards this transistor right here. Cause now when I go negative, when I go voltage DC, and I measure that. Alright, so now theoretically, yeah, I'm getting just 0.9. And I shouldn't be. Is that what's showing up here? It's gotta be, right? Yeah. So it's just 0.9, and I kind of want to measure it with the display connected, but I don't think that's going to make much of a difference. And if I do this, is it going to change anything? So now I'm in millivolts because I'm not powered on the right side. Yeah, which is totally to be expected. Now if I come over this way, measure? Yeah, it's the same. So we're definitely not getting the voltage anymore, and I don't know why. I don't think it has anything to do with that guy right there. So CC500 now. Let's pull this out real quick. CC500 is going to be right here. All right, so yeah, and that's fine. I think that was supplying voltage. This getting 8 volts, yeah, so that capacitor's fine. 0.8 volts on that side, 8 volts there, and then here we're seeing 8 volts, 4 volts. All right, now if I measure, see, this is still, maybe it's just because I'm getting 5 volts on this guy, so that's fine, which should mean that this guy should be fine too. 6 volts there, 6 volts there, 7 volts there, which is, and 8 volts there, which is basically DC in. So that's getting 6 volts there, but nothing on the other side? Really? Or is it this middle one? And 6 volts, okay. I don't know. This is so weird. You know, I'm just gonna have to bite the bullet, I think. And we'll do some testing here. So we're gonna go grab my other one, and we'll pull that one apart, unfortunately. All right, well, as much as this pains the ever-loving crap out of me, oh, I'm so sorry to do this to you. I just have to make sure I have a bag for these screws. There we go. This will work. Yeah, so this sucks. This is not really how I wanted this to go. This feels like I'm inviting trouble here, but I kind of think at this point we're going to just do a quick sanity test. I'm going to plug this one into the other monitor. And all we're going to do is just see if it works. And then I can just run some tests on the board, I guess. Alright, so let's get these screws put away real quick. This is not my idea of a good time. Unfortunately, these things make me so nervous. And this one, minus the sound being a little low, which I haven't figured out if it's a speaker issue or if it's what, but sure I'm not missing. I got all of them right. Okay, should just pop right open. I gotta just be careful of these sliding switches here. Okay. See, these ribbons are getting kind of chewed up, and I don't know why. Maybe because that's not pushed in all the way. Shit. Thankfully, that's just the control board ribbon. Okay. Grab the. Yeah, definitely had that speaker oriented correctly. Alright, so basically we know this one is working. So we're gonna do some quick tests. Alright, so first things first, we are going to just basically verify the display here. Plug in a game cartridge. And I'll hook up the not to lose these switches, so we'll just do this real fast. Alright, there we go. Thought that side was a little sticky. Alright. Yeah. I mean, I theoretically could have an issue with T500, which I know on the GTs and the Turbo Expresses is what drives backlight, or LCD. That's good there. So also give me secondary. I wanted to test the speaker in this to see if maybe my other speaker is just going a little bit, which is actually a very easy fix. But I'm thinking that maybe one of my audio amps or capacitor around the audio amp is not too happy. Sound works, it's just compared to the working one compared to the sort of working one, the volume levels are much different. Much more volume with the semi-working one. Oopsie. I am, however, getting much better at installing these ribbons, which I know y'all can't even see because it's kind of off frame, but here, I'll see if maybe I can get a better view of that. It's kind of difficult because basically my hands are just going to be in the way the entire time. Alright, so this is just not wanting to cooperate real with me, so I'll try it this way. There we go. Sometimes tweezers just make your life so much easier, right? Alright, so now we'll hook the speaker in as well. Alright, so this is working motherboard on top of the screen from the non-working one. I'm actually fully expecting this to fire up. So we'll do it this way real quick. Plug you in. Okay. Perfect. And I think the speaker in my other one's starting to go. Okay, so that is great news. Maybe. But you can see that the screen's fine. So something died. Something died. Or is not right on the other one. And that's now my job to figure that out. Okay, that, however, that explains a lot. So, basically, we're going to do some poking around, do some voltage DC checks. Now that I know a good test point that doesn't need me to solder in a lead. Alright, so this is for the non-working unit. Hey, babies. Hi. Alright. Now it's kind of sad I had to pull this apart, but the good news is that we have verification, 100% verification, that I have a board level issue on the bare board. And I'm going to have to figure out exactly what the hell that is and why it's happening. Problem is now I might actually have. I was thinking I could do the testing in the case. I might have to. No. Okay, so all right, let's just let's get back in voltage DC, and then I might actually end up having to write this down or something so I can compare the two. All right. Got the same amp draw with no screen connected, so that's good. Okay, we're in voltage DC now. And I think it was basically this line right here is carrying display voltage. Yep, negative 23. Okay, so my negative voltage rail is missing. Perfect. Dude, that's awesome. Okay. Negative 23. Negative 23. And this is negative 17. Negative 17. Six volts on that side. All right, up here we've got nothing because ground. Nothing. 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 Huh, I thought I was getting 1.8 up there before. Let the camera up a little bit so I can see what I'm doing. I want to say that is ground, right? So, I mean, technically, I should just be able to do that. Getting nothing, though. 6 volts, but nothing here. Okay, what about here? 6. 6. 6. Okay. So, oh, that's 6. So maybe that could, I think it's possibly it's this. Maybe? Or it could be T500, which I could just replace with the spare. Well, I don't have a spare, but all right, so they're saying now, let's just use this because it's much better ground in my opinion. So I'm getting negative 17 volts there, and then negative 20 out this way. Yeah. So this is input of 6.3 volts, which if I go to continuity, I'm pretty sure it's this leg and this leg are connected. Right. All right, so let's do a voltage drop test here. So we're going to do, nothing. 0.6. 0.6. And nothing. So that's testing fine. Do I just have a bad capacitor? Could it be? I don't know. Like, all right, so here's this board. All right, so let's, for just shits and giggles real quick. All right, so we got this back now. Let's see here. So I wonder if maybe, did I not solder that right? I'm assuming. I thought I tested that, but I could possibly not be soldered right. Now that's connected. Is this connected? So those are connected. Okay. If I turn you on and I grab a ground plane and I check here. Knock my microscope all over the place, of course, because that's what we meant to do. Anyway, I mean, it does look a little cold, the solder joint, but yeah, look at that. I'm getting 484 millivolts out of that. And what am I getting into it? 3.5 volts. Okay, what am I getting here? 3.5 volts. So something's not firing right. I'm not getting enough voltage to the T500, it feels like. And that's 3.86 volts. Something's funky here. Alright, so let's do some continuity testing. Alright, so we know that I'm pretty sure this have this. Is this just not soldered right? I mean, I could reflow that. Alright, so we know that that's all there. Okay. But I'm only getting half the expected voltage. Right? I want to fire this up. Oh, okay. I was in the wrong mode, so let's try it in the right mode here. God dang it. I really hope I didn't fry anything. I need ground. Still only getting millivolts here. Millivolts into there. And 9 volts out of that. So it's wrong too. It should be negative voltage. And that's still only 3.8 volts. So what is the issue? Because I'm going to do it again, just for posterity's sake. All right. So all right, so we got power into the board. Game's running. negative 17 volts there. This is showing 6 volts. So is it T500 that's dead, or... Okay, so we're going to have to look... Okay, so let's figure out what the hell... Problem is, I'm so fucking dumb. Like, this is where I really wish I was better with electronics, is understanding what's the fucking input path and what's the output path. So am I looking for a problem that's upstream or downstream of where this is now? I'm guessing what happens here so we should be connected here. I think this feeds this, right? It does. So now if we look on this side of the board, we've got the dot right there, the via right. The via is right here. So it's right by this guy. It's this guy right here. All right. I mean, it could be this part. I could order a new one of those. I'd also take a look at the data sheet for it. I mean, that capacitor's fine, right? Okay, we shouldn't have a path to ground here. No, that's fine. Alright, so this is where the issue of kind of understanding how shit works is important, because alright, so I'm expecting to see the 3 volts on this. Oh, fuck my life, bro. I keep forgetting. Never a good idea to do continuity testing with powers on the board, but should be okay. See, right now I'm showing... Uh-oh. Please tell me I didn't completely fuck shit up here. I mean, that shouldn't matter. I should have a good ground. Whoa. Getting nothing now. So that could be the sign of a... Could be that part right there. And if I flip it over and look again, did I screw something up? I hope not. So basically now I need to double check this, because I was getting 3 volts before, but now I'm not. On the other side I'm getting nothing. So where we were reading this, yeah. So 3.8 volts on this side. And on this side, I get nothing. So this is a ground plane right here. Two, yeah, millivolts. 1.2 volts there. 8 volts there. 8 there. 4 there. 4 there. Nothing. That should be nothing. 0.8 there. And nothing there. Alright, something is funky here. Now if I measure this, this should be good. So I should have 6 volts coming in here. And I've got 7 there and 7 here, right? 8 there. So that seems to be good. Alright, so let's turn power off real quick. Back in continuity mode. So we could have a problem with the PWM converter. It looks fine. See, I'm feeling like this gets fed from... So this right here is that big FET MOSFET on the other side. So like... This is basically going from... We're going to go from here to here. And that's ground. So now this should be ground, right, from that transistor. Now power, to me, looks like it's coming into this capacitor here, and this capacitor connects to this resistor here, and this resistor. Okay. So is this capacitor okay? I'm assuming it's fine. Yeah, 500 ohms, okay. 4, 5, 3, 1. I'm expecting like 4.5K. It's climbing. It's at 3.58, 5, 3.6. I'm measuring in circuit. It's drugged down a little low, it feels like. 3.65. And that should be... But I don't know. Just clean up again. Let's see if maybe... Alright, so... Alright, so 4531, which is definitely 4.53K. Now, could theoretically pull off the 5279 from the working and put it into the non-working. Let's see if that would work. Save me a week's worth of time. I did want to measure DC voltage on that. Top pin there. Let's see what we're getting. So that would be so we're getting 6 volts in, right? But when it gets to here, it's only 1 volt. 1 volt. So it drops, does it purposely drop down from 6 to 1 volt through this? I don't know. I mean, that makes sense. I drop the voltage down and pass it through a resistor. It just doesn't explain why. I mean, I'm actually gonna have to just literally pull out. Yeah, I mean, I'm like it's 0 at this point. That pin is just 0. And it shouldn't be. So, okay. Well, I mean, we're really just at the point where I'm just going to have to bite the bullet, and we are going to have to pull this out of its case. All right. So I'll just do this off camera or out of in microscope, just because screw it. There's no point. We'll flip in between them so you can see me unscrew 4 screws, which is, I'm sure, very thrilling content. Okay, well, I mean, we're making progress. We're making progress. Yeah. Progress is good. And I'm lucky, I guess. I'm seriously lucky that I have one that's working. Because not many people are able to be in the situation that I'm in. And the sad thing is the back of this board was so much more corroded. I mean, the semi-functional one was like in comparatively much better shape. And actually it functioned. So something just died, or I did something. Maybe I just have a bad cap. Like, it doesn't make much sense to me why this would just die out of nowhere, Like, it doesn't really compute. It feels like more like, 4531. We're in voltage DC. So we'll grab. So we've got our 6 volts coming in. And then on the test pad, 1.1, so that's normal. 1.1 there, but look at that. So am I wrong here? Am I just chasing my tail? Because this is giving me 0 volts. 0 volts. 0 volts. But when I flip the board, and look at it, So that's where it connects, but on this side, so we've got a ground plane right here. On this side, I'm showing, so we've got our negative 17 there, and 6 volts there, and 6 volts there, and 6 volts there. Weird. But on the other side, we got nothing. Okay. So I am kind of chasing my tail a little bit. We're going to measure again just to be sure here. So the 1.1, I mean, that makes sense to me. Dropping the 6 volts down to 1 volt for the converter. But what doesn't make sense to me is why is that 0? All right, so we're going to take a look around real quick while we're here. Let's do some measurements. We've got 6 on that. We've got 7, and we've got 8, which I think matches our other board. And then this is nothing. Nothing. 0.8 on that side. Which would mean 0.9 right there. 0.9 right there. Man, it's literally nothing. So it's not this. It's got to be something up top, right? 6 volts on that. And then 6 volts on that. Okay. And we've got 6 there. Blah there. And then probably another 5 volts there, which is making sense to me for that. Okay. And now I'm a little bit more lost here. So do we have a problem with T500? Which would feel a little odd. I could try reflowing everything again, I guess. It's in a pretty awkward spot, but let's just take a look around here. Let's see what these... Imagine these big capacitors aren't going to be showing much more than 7 volts. So we've got this capacitor right here, which I'm expecting to be about 7, right? 6.5, okay. Works for me. Then this cap down here, which on the other board we had to do the patch. This is giving me 5 volts, which again is expected. Okay. So those are those 2 big caps right there. We have another one off, but I don't think that's really doing anything. Let's see here. I think it's kind of like maybe T500 is just bad, or could it be another transformer that's not right? The funny thing is, I actually could pull a T500 from another. Someone said something about these being used in PC engines too, but I don't think that was the case. I don't know why you would use one on a PC engine. mean, I could touch up the solder joints on these capacitors, 47, 16 volts. And that's the same thing with this guy. He's going to be a 40. Oh. Ooh. Well, it doesn't matter, honestly. Because that's a 4.7. It shouldn't matter. 16 versus 35. Unless I put a... Well, that's an interesting discovery. No, I mean, he could have just... It could just be the capacitor kit. Just he didn't have 16, so he threw in 35s, because it doesn't frickin' matter. Higher voltages are fine. Basically, I'm looking at my cap chart here, so H, right? And H is a 47 to 16. Do we have a 4735? See, I don't see any 4735, so it's not like... There's the G's, which is a 47 6.3. But because this voltage is higher on that one, so we're fine. And we're at 3.3, 3.3. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Take a look at these solder joints again real quick. And see if anything looks a little funky. I mean, that looks good to me, right? That looks fine too, eh? If I don't think I'm going to gain anything from... Let's not drop a $3,000 console on the concrete here, huh? I don't think I'm going to gain anything from reflowing that. Like, that looks fine to me. Like, I don't... I lost my damn tweezers, too. Like, nothing about this is telling me... Like, this does look... I mean, that's solid. That is definitely solid. So it's either, it could be this transistor right here, which is a BA. See, this one's the 76, and I think... Let's take a look at this real quick, because this might have better markings for me to look at here. No. Yeah. So I just... I don't know. Sometimes you just gotta... Just BA. It's the same, right? 76 on that side. And that's a BA or 3A? BA. looks like. Let me put a little manual autofocus going on here. That might help a little. Oh yeah, that's BA. Alright, BA. I mean, it could be that. I mean, unless that's getting fed with something. But I think that's an output. I don't. I just don't know. Alright, so this is the working board. Gotta be really, really, really careful with this one. Alright. So on the working board, we've going to get, imagining that it's got to be like the negative 17, right? Alright, so negative 17 there. Negative 17 there. Okay, so that makes sense. Obviously, that makes sense. But where does that go? That's the problem. Is it getting fed voltage from that? You know, like, what is... Oh, this is where I just wish I was a freaking electrical engineer. I'm just going to have to basically go rewatch a transistor video and see if I can have it make sense to me. What we're looking for now is basically where that goes. So I'm assuming these are all going to be, this is all ground right here. So like if I just put back that continuity mode here. Let's go through. I'm pretty sure 99.9% this is just going to be a common ground. It is. Okay, so that's ground. Which is the collector and which is the emitter? So is this base emitter collector? And where does this fucking go? See, I'm wondering. It's like, does it come like this? Or does it come like this? Because whatever's on this side is definitely not a ground. It's not connected to T500, but it is connected to that. Okay, so let's just make my life easier. We don't need that much zoom. So we are looking like right there. That's why I felt like it was connected to that, but I could be wrong on that. It could be farther down, like it could be this guy right here. Might actually just have to maybe solder a fly lead on and check, but it's one more look. Try one more time. So we know that that's ground, right? So we're gonna have ground there. This is ground. So we've got L500. Okay, so we've got L500 and then straight down. Two vias, right? Two vias from L500. Two vias. It's going to be in the middle of L500. So L500 is right here, which is powering Q500, which makes sense. Okay, and then that's it. It's two down. It's this one. So this guy? So there's that transistor right there as well. So wait, is this... So... Okay. Kind of weird that would be like that, but you never know. I mean, all right, back to voltage DC and see if that's a thing. All right, so we got a ground plane here, and then we're gonna just test this guy. Yeah. Oh. Nothing. Nothing there either. What about this guy? 6 volts there. No voltage there. Ah! 29 volts right there. So why is it 29 volts? 29 volts. Nothing. Okay. So that N44 is getting 30 fucking volts. Okay. And if I look at what's going on over here, so we'll have that little N44 transistor. Should be showing the same, like 30 volts, which would make sense for a display. 3 volts. 3 volts. It's just not getting enough juice. Okay. All right. And so that, right on the edge of the board here. So I do believe, I mean, we might have a bad T500. No, that's all ground. No. Wait, is that? That's not connected to this. Is it? Like this is not connected to this, is it? No. It's connected to this? It is. And is this? Yeah. No. And 44. No, it's not on the outside. It's really, really, really close, but... Or is that just ground? Is this ground? I think this might be ground. Yeah, that's ground. So like on the very edge of the board is no good, but then it's right in line with that second notch. So it'll be on the top here. Right in line with that. So like right in line with this. That can't be right. That really can't be right, can it? Let's do this real fast. We're gonna do this off camera because it's kind of hard, but shit. No. So they're not connected. But it is getting power from up here somehow. Yeah, because that's just a ground. I mean, that would make sense why this beeped out to that, which is what I thought it was. But again, I mean, that's not a ground, right? Because... Huh? No. We'll double check on that on this side. That's not a ground. 100% not a ground. I know for a fact that these are connected. Yeah, so it's definitely... I could put a little bit more solder on this, I guess, but I don't think that's the problem. Alright. It's just not visible, unfortunately. It's literally right underneath. Unless that's it right there, but no, it's too far away. It's like... It's like right... See, it makes me want to test to see... I wonder if it is that capacitor. We're gonna have to like maybe just solder on another fly lead or something here, so I could do some testing. Because I just don't know where this is connected. That's my problem, and I can't trace it properly. Okay, where could this go to? I guess I could just solder a quick little fly lead to the thing and figure it out, eh? at this point, I guess it's like, what other choice do I have? Alright, we're gonna refire my station here. Let's do it like this. It'll be a little bit easier for me, I think. It is that guy right there. And 44. Perfect. All right. Now, we'll just verify real quick, but I don't know why I even have to do this. But first, meters in continuity. Right. Get my probes, do the beepy beep. They do. So now we just need to make sure that. Ooh, I've got to make sure that's not going to be a problem later on. I don't think so, but got a little blob of solder on that right there. So basically, I should. Okay, 100%. Okay, so now, now when I look up here, I should have a little bit of an easier time figuring out exactly where the hell this goes. So we know that it's not going to be ground. Don't think it's this. Is it this? Nope. Is it this? Nope. Here? Here? Anywhere up here? So I just don't know where this goes. Do I have to do a paintbrush test? We're just double checking again here. This is all ground, so that's not gonna. Yeah, this is kind of shitty, but I didn't expect it to touch any of those, but you never know. It's all ground. Just verifying that I have enough pressure on the thing. Holy shit, I don't know where this goes. It literally fucking disappears. And there's no... There is that line. Okay, so let's... We have the too thick, the thick on the bottom and the too thin above it. And then over here we have... maybe it's... No, because I think that's... It would be... Still going up. No, it couldn't be. There's no way. We'll try, but... Ah! Alright. So it's connected to here. That is supposed to be a 3.3, am I right? Yep, I do believe so. North facing. I mean, this is definitely going to be connected to ground. Is this? Yeah, that's ground. Alright. So I guess we're going to just really quick, we're going to drop the voltage DC and then see what we're getting there. Which I imagine is going to be the crappy voltage. Alright. 3 volts. Okay. That's expected, but... yeah. Yeah, that makes sense, but it doesn't make sense at the same time. Alright, so... That's kind of weird. So we know that over here... Okay... That's under the shield. Now let's just do this real fast. Yeah, that's kind of what I was figuring. 3373 and 9. It's all looking the same, right? 3322. We've got 3322. I'm assuming that's supposed to be a 1 microfarad. Everything in there looks good. This is the working board. I don't know. Okay. So we're kind of back to square one here. And we just really don't know. Because I don't understand how this circuit works. It very well could be that this thing is dead. Could be T500's dead. What did we say that? We were getting some stupidly low value on this one. We should have been getting around 30 volts. I'm assuming it has nothing to do with the game, but you know, we'll plug one in just for grins here. This way, the kind of like test cases are a little bit more. Ooh. Well, that's drawing 0.31 amps now. Okay. It's a little higher than normal, I think. And we're showing, yeah, just 3/8 volts there. That's going to be the same. Coming into here, we've got milliamps coming out. And then 3 volts where I'm expecting 30, I believe. So I should be expecting from that line. Yeah, we get 3 volts there. And what is showing here, we're getting, it's half the voltage that we're expecting. All right, I'm sure that okay, now those are all showing as connected. Is that okay? I think that's okay considering how this coil works, but we'll use our verifiable working. All right, but they shouldn't be connected to the phases across. I'm right here. Okay, that's definitely not. Definitely not. And definitely not. I would imagine our T500 is just fine. Pretty sure as long as none of the windings cross. Yeah. Okay. So I could maybe try to reflow this a little bit, I guess, but I don't know why that would really. maybe? I don't know. It does look like it's connected, but very well couldn't be. Could not be, I suppose, but... But I checked that, though. I know that when I just go from here to here, it's fine. I mean, we don't have a direct path. So, and then when I measure voltage DC, I'm still going to get millivolts. Because whatever is powering this is only giving me 3.8 volts, and it needs to be like, I believe 6. That shit, did I rip that the lead off? I guess I did. No biggie. I did. Oh well. We will have to, actually, while I'm here, maybe just go ahead and clean that off. Okay, that should be fine. Yeah. .3 amps. Feels right, but also not. -3, well that's because I'm switched through. And it should be... I could try just replacing this, but... 3 volts. And that should be 30 if I remember right. What if we did a quick little voltage drop test on this guy? Let's verify this is working okay. And we do 578 that way. Right, just so red here. 579. Flop it around. Yeah. I am imagining 5-8 that way, and then open. Yeah, this. Okay, so it's working. It's working. It's working. Now, there's a question here. What am I seeing in terms of voltage on the outputs here? So it's -3 and 3. And I'm assuming, is that all going to be 30s in the other one? Boy, this is just a massive pain in the ass, bro. Alright, let's try looking at you, I guess. Alright, we got Wink. So we're going to have the 30 on this boom. 30 volts there. 6 volts there. So whatever is feeding this 6 volts is... I gotta figure out where the fuck that's coming from. So we're losing half our voltage. No, actually, you know what? I did want to see. What is the draw? Just it should be 0.3. See, I'm getting a higher amp draw on this board, which is slightly indicative that something's shorted. Alright, so we've got that. And then we're drawing. No sir, no sir, no sir. I'd rather save a $3,000 console than a $200 soldering iron, but I need to get some more room. Okay. I am streaming, right? Let's see here. Okay, this is the bad board. Yeah, it's drawing 0.31 with the same conditions, unless the cartridge shouldn't make a difference, but we'll just for the grids here, we'll use the same game just to get the same verifiable test. Should have zero to do with anything, but you know, what the hell. We test and we get 0.3. So this is drawing 0.9 higher than the other one, which means I've got a high side of short somewhere possibly. I'm not sure. Okay, well, I'll just keep going and going and going. Okay, let's just be a little bit more gentle with this, eh? Okay, that's fine. All right, so, okay, now we're back to the drawing board again. And it's more like, now we gotta figure out possibly where this 6 volts is coming in from here. I don't know. So I don't know. But what is that connected to? So this is connected to this test pad right here. Right. Oh, okay. So these are connected together. And now that it's going to be below, looking for the outside stripe. It's going to be here on the right there. So it's literally so this is connected to the T500. I mean, I could just try to replace T500. It could be it, but this to me trying to do this kind of a janky way, but it's so hard to. Yeah. All right. So basically, now this leg right here is getting. This is connected directly to T500, which makes sense because when I plug this in, and check. Oh yeah, so that leg should be putting out the 3 volts instead of the 6. So I'm going to attach this. .5 volts. And I guarantee you when I plug in the good board, I'm going to get 6 all on that side. Yeah, sorry, a little wonky here real quick, but okay, so essentially I'm expecting to see 6 volts on this, which I know I'm going to get because everything's working. So when I plug into here, 6.38 volts. 6.38 volts. 6.4 volts. Ground. There's no way that this is AC, is it? something's dragging this down, and I don't know what. It feels like. Yeah, but this is definitely 6 volts. 6.3 volts. Now, let's take a look at something real quick. Three five, 3.5, 3.8, 3.8, 3.8. Too much resistance, or just keep wanting to blame this, but I just don't think that's the problem. Everything is definitely solid, so I'm not seeing any wiggle or anything. I'm like, okay. Well, may have to just give up on this for the day and spend my week doing a whole lot of research and question asking. Because unfortunately, I'm just getting nowhere with this, and I don't know why. No, wait, no, this is all well and good, right? We did verify that this is outputting correctly, eh? So this is 8.5, 7 volts, and 7.8, and this should be 6.62, so that's all good. Okay. So that's working okay. We know that my main transistor is working okay. We know that this is not shorted to ground, but we will take a look at the resistance here. I'm showing a 4.4K resistance to ground. Okay. Makes sense. And we'll just do a quick comparison to the working board. But that seems about right to me. To be perfectly honest, it just, if it was short, it would definitely not be reading in the kilo ohms. But, you know, what the hell? We're here. We might as well. Yeah, 4.4K. Just as expected. That's going to range out a little bit, but it's 3940. 1. Yeah, 2. We're well within tolerance at this point. 423, so, which actually kind of lines up with, but I don't think those are connected. We don't even know what. That's not connected. So this is definitely not going to be connected to. No. These are connected, so that's. No idea where that's coming from. Probably from the top board, but I imagine. The 6 volt, which tracks. And here we've got 6 volts. That's all good there. Imagine we're going to see 6 volts on this, because I think these are all just for powering the system. 6 volts is not a lot. Alright, so we're going to see there's 6 volts there. Yeah, 6 volts there. Millivolts. Millivolts. Yeah, I mean that tracks. It's just that whatever. Now on the working board, I'm expecting to see. Let's see here. We got 6 volts. 6 volts. 6 volts, and this should be 30. 29. 29. But we are getting our 30. 6 there and then 6 here. Right, and I know on the broken board it's 3, and I don't know about the other side though. Let's go check that out real quick. That's 3. 3.6. 3. Well, that's a little weird. 0.6. This is the broken board. So we're getting 3, 6. Okay, now do some voltage drop tests here and some surrounding transistors just to make sure. Oh. Whoa. That's weird. Okay, so I'm seeing 2.7 voltage drop and 1.3. Okay, that's a little funky. That's a little funky. Maybe a little funky. So here's the same transistor right there. No, it's fine. And what if I switch the leads around? Damn it. I had my hopes up for a second. Seems like a lot. 2.8. And then in this one, so maybe this isn't a transistor. 1.3. Okay, that's totally fine. Damn. Thought I had something there for a minute. That's kind of the beauty of having a working board. Okay, those two should be connected. 0.8. 0.2. 0.6. 2.5. It's a whole lot of voltage drop, but again, I'm assuming it's fine. know what this little part would have to do with anything, but 2.5. Yeah, it's gonna be. Then this should be 0.8. 0.6. Yeah, close enough for government work. I'm assuming that this is connected. And is it ground? No, it's not ground, but it's like it's so fucking weird. Like, which direction is the? Let's just do a quick. Oh, that's so. This is ground. These two are not connected to each other. Alright, and if I do voltage drop on this, it's probably going to be the same. Okay, we got a 0.6, 2.5, and now we do 0.6, 2.5, 2.5, 0.6. Again, that's normal. Let's just double check. Here's a little. Oh, this is the working board, so it's fine. Okay, so I verified that. Come back on here. Two 2.5, 0.6. And then 0.6 and 2.5, eh? Yeah, that's fine. And then we check this was. Yeah. Different readings both ways generally means the component is fine. I just don't know. I really don't. Part of me is maybe just for grins before I call it a day here because it's getting late. Kind of want to enjoy my afternoon, and I'm obviously not smart enough to figure this out on my own, so I'm going to have to consult the experts. Oh, where did I do with it? Looking for my PC Engine, I can't seem to find it unless I stuck it in this box. Let's not risk. There it is. Alright, somebody out there said something about PC Engine's having T500s in them. I think that's a load of horse shit. I don't think they will. It doesn't make sense to me why they would. Alright, so this uses a game bit. I think it's just the next one up. No? Keep going. Okay. Maybe it's one of the ones in the end there. I think it's one of the ones in the end. Okay, that's not it. What about you? No? You're way too big. Huh, so did I just find a device that my Fix-It kit can't open? No way. 4.5? There we go. Hi, Denami. So I actually bought this to help repair Turbo Expresses and PC Engine GTs, because I know I've got one with a couple of problems on it that some parts from this might solve, and I got this for a really, really good deal because of the not the greatest cosmetic condition, and I really don't care too much about this as a console because I already have one working. So this is more of a parts than anything. Okay. So we're just going to take a quick poke on this board. No. There's definitely no T500 on this. As expected. Because why would you need an AC signal generator transformer on a device designed to output the TV? It was worth the look, though, you know, like, if maybe I got lucky and there was one, I could snag it. That's an RF modulator. Nah, there's definitely no T500 on this board. I am seeing exactly everything as I'm expecting. So unless they were talking about maybe the transistor that's used to power, or the voltage regulator that's used to power, but those are also very common voltage regulators, so that's not a huge deal anyway. Yeah, that's what I figured. Just a lot of dirt and disappointment. Hue code reader slot's kind of cool how they have this hooked up. Is that RAM? That is RAM. That's cool. Well, it was worth a shot. Just a quick look into my parts console to see if I could snag a part, but we can't, just as expected. So, no biggie. But we'll definitely be using this later for Yeah, I just don't know what to say, honestly. Like, it's so frustrating because I feel like I have a shorted component somewhere. I just don't know where. And it's just enough to bring the LCD circuit down because the system works. That's what drives me bonkers. So it's occurring before we get here. And of the other side of the board, just take a look again. All those components look fine. I don't see. All right, let's do something crazy here. Like if I want to, it's too bad I don't have his. Okay, the Retro6 wiki here real quick. Pull up the PC Engine GT. He's got the LCD circuit with T500 outlined. Could be. Okay, so okay, so we're looking. We're trying to figure out. Okay, so there's that. So we should have a string of 4, and it would be the one on the bottom. Looking from here, we should have a string of 1, 2, 3. Okay, well that kind of makes sense, but I feel like I'm missing a via here, right? Because there's so hard to give this up. Maybe just the easy thing we do is just double check to see if any of these are connected to that inductor. So we have an inductor up top right here. Huh? It is 100%. Is the inductor dead? What's the inductor reading? So it could be... Okay. If I go to voltage DC here, then we just check our... It should be 6 volts, right? Six volts there. And then we get 6 volts here. No, we don't. So we're... Okay. Now let's take a look on the other board. That's something. That is something. That is something. That is something. What do I have for you? So we should have up top here, just a quick check, we should have 6 volts on this. We have 6 volts on the inductor and then 6 volts down here. All right. Well, okay. So we know that between the inductor and... So we have a direct path. We have a direct path from this test pad right there to my inductor, right? There's no way that resistor just died on me, right? Okay, so that's fine. Okay, so both sides of this inductor should be reading at 6 volts. If it's 3 volts on one and 6 on the other, that's a weird problem, but... Alright, so we've got... Oh. That's weird. Yeah, 6 volts on one side, 6 volts on the other. But here, where I'm expecting 6, I'm getting negative 3.8. Negative 3.8, okay. Okay. Now this resistor, which wouldn't make sense, I guess it could be dragging the line down, but we're expecting 478 ohms here. I got 23. Ohms. Okay. That's looking a little sus. Let's take a look at this guy. I have got... Nope. Just fine. 23 ohms. Okay. Yeah. 23 ohms. So there is now it's a via right here. really makes me wonder if there's something wrong with T500. I mean, they're all these signs are, they just keep pointing at T500. That's the weird thing, but it feels like it's fine. So I should have, I think essentially, like if I touch my, let's just go do continuity here real quick. I should, if I do this, no, it's enameled, so there really is no. Okay, so yeah. Okay. I don't know what this is going to tell me, but we'll do a quick resistance to ground test here and see if maybe this is showing anything funky for me. $4.3K. Oh, I think we already measured this, didn't we not? Yeah. Around 4.3K. Yeah. And I'm sure when I go look at the other one, it's going to be the same. So I don't, because if it was lower, I think we would know that already. Quick little test here. Just grab the end. 4.4K on that side, and then this guy's going to show me mega ohms dropping. I'm assuming it's there, rising up now. And that's right. I think we did test this. I got 4.2, 4.23 on this. And then this one's going to be probably the same, is my guess. We don't know what that's connected to, do we? It's not. That's a ground. Yeah, but those are all connected. That makes sense, yeah. And then, are these not connected over here? Yeah. And these are no connects. So these two are connected, but we don't have any crosstalk. I'm telling you, T500 is fine. It's got to Be something else, man. What are the voltage I'm expecting to get here? Coming in, we gotta have 6 volts, right? Yeah. And then coming out, we've got -17. All right, well, I'm kind of at a standstill at this point. I just don't know what to do, and my brain kind of hurts right now. So I think I'm gonna go and do some more research and ask people smarter than I about what could possibly be going on in the circuit. But the fact remains is that on the broken board, which we'll put back into view here, we're getting half the voltage as expected on like I'm definitely convinced, so we don't need this anymore. Let's do this real quick. Pull this off. Then I'm going to solder this to the inductor. Okay. This way. The inductor is these two guys right here. This is what happens when you can't see. Thankfully not a huge deal. All this shit's connected anyway, so. Alright. So I just wanted to make sure here that I'm pretty damn sure the inductor is going to be connected that far. Well, obviously it's going to feed all of them because they're all connected, but let's just do this one real quick test before I call it a day. My brain just refuses to stop because it just does not want to go to sleep when there's a problem to solve. But I have to admit defeat that I don't really know enough. Come on now. Alright, so whatever path from the inductor to there, and I don't see anything on this side though, that's the problem. What are you connected to? Is it just because it's getting fed from this? Does it go from... And that's definitely getting 6 volts, right? Yeah. 6 volts. There. But 3.8 there. I guess I could check this one thing. Just do a little, I don't know what that's even connected to, but I don't think it's. Feels like these two. No? That's just a ground. Okay, no. Very tricky to get in here. Okay. Nothing seems shorted to each other, so that's usually a good sign. No voltage drop that way. 0.6 that way. .6 that way. So I think that's okay. So on this, I mean, that's fine, right? Let's see why that would be an issue. So weird, man. It's just such a weird effing problem. And that one's good there. That one's fine. It's good 6 volts. I mean, but this transistor right here isn't connected to the inductor at all. So it's connected to the positive side of that. Where is this capacitor just bad? I mean, that makes sense because this is connected to that. I mean, for sure. And we'll check on the other board too, but. Very well could be bad cap, but I don't think that's the case. Yeah. So. And the only other thing I could do, which I'm probably going to do next week, but God, that's going to suck. I don't really want to. I don't think I could even pull that off. Yeah, unfortunately, because of the way how this board is designed, it's going to be very difficult to get this off without either destroying it or using hot air. There's just too much in the way. I can't really lift it up. Sometimes that works, but most of the times, no. And I definitely have a lot of plastic on the other side that I don't want to melt. Alright. I'm smelling burning hair, which is never a good thing. Assuming that's still connected though. Yeah. And probably gonna give me the same. Don't see any difference in current draw. Millivolts, of course. -3 volt, yeah. Everything is just still meh. Well, that's even, yeah. 6 volts there. So we are getting some sort of weird crosstalk. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to be able to lift that capacitor up. I just think it's too tucked in there for me to really get to. I'm almost certainly going to have to I don't know how that inductor connects to the fucking, because it's right here. Like it feels like it feels like the current comes in through here and then out through here up to the inductor. No. All right. Before I go crazy, we're just going to call it a day today. I mean, disappointing. We did not get it working. I kind of went into this without expectation, however, and knowing it was going to be a very difficult fix or needle in a haystack fix, and I was not wrong. So basically, we're left with just having to do a whole lot of research and ask some questions and see if we can maybe find somebody out there that knows the circuit better than I do. Either something is half dead and dragging and creating too much resistance and dragging the circuit down, or I'm just an idiot and just completely misunderstanding the problem here. I don't know. But I'm going to spend the rest of my afternoon not feeling frustrated and upset and relax. And I hope you all do the same. Trying to become more regular. We'll be back next weekend for sure. We got to keep working on this, and hopefully by the end of the week, I'll have maybe some clues or some hints or just some advice to go look at. We will ask a bunch of people much smarter than me and who have been working on these types of devices longer than I have to see what they have to say. Other than that, if they can't help, it's literally just going to be pick and place until I figure out what's broken on the damn board. And yeah, I just don't know what to say other than that, because it was working before I did my capacitor replacement, so that kind of like makes me believe I've got a bad capacitor in there somewhere. Could very well be the case, which is a lovely son of a bitch. I could at the end of the day, I could just buy another cap kit and recap it. It would suck. I would not be too happy about it, but I could try that. I could try that. Of course, though, that would mean I would have to pull the Hue card reader off again, which is not something I'm too particularly wanting to do right now. Yeah, there's one capacitor. Well, I mean, I wouldn't have to do a full recap, but once again, I'm just so drained off in a thought here because, of course, I'm looking at the effing board still. But yeah, as far as I can tell, I mean, none of these caps. Besides the one that I forcibly pulled up. And I might continue with that next week. If anything, maybe I'd recap everything in the power area, which is definitely doable without having to pull up the Hue card slot. Because my guess is it's either a capacitor in that area or a transistor. It's gone bad that I'm just either not testing right or is functional enough to pass test, but once voltage gets applied is failing, which very well could be, but very unlikely. Anyway, well, anybody who stopped by, thank you, which I don't think was anybody today, but that's okay. Anybody in the future watching, appreciate any likes and subscribes. I do tend to stream every weekend, usually between 11 and noon Central Standard Time, going to about now, if not a little bit later, sometimes earlier. I will be back streaming more regularly this year, after falling off last year pretty hard, but we're going to try to get back in the swing of things and really make a consistent schedule of doing work on the weekends again. So hopefully I will see you all here next week. And if not, just have a great week and a great rest of your weekend. And yeah, pop in, say hi, leave a comment, like, subscribe, any of that stuff. All appreciated.